Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the RR Show. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel if you haven't already. But today we're jumping into a little bit of r/Today I Fucked Up. So without further ado, grab your tea and your blankie, and in we go. Our first story today is from u/Glandro. Today I fucked up by letting my little brother put together furniture in my new room. Well, actually this happened 8 months ago, but I just found out about it today. I, 20 female, moved into my first apartment 8 months ago, and my little brother, 16, offered to help me move in and set up my desk and my bed in my new room. I thought it was very sweet and gladly accepted. He also gave me his old AC unit, and by the way, that thing beeps. I didn't think much of it and was grateful to get a free AC unit, so I would put up with the beeping. The AC unit beeps at inconsistent time intervals, about every 5 to 45 minutes, but I put up with it. Summer comes and goes, and I take out the AC unit and take it back to my parents' house. The beeping continues. I thought this was weird, but let it go after a while. After months of this shit, I'm fed up. I start moving every electronic device in my room into the living room one at a time to systematically figure out which one is making the noise. None of them are. I'm pissed. The noise now causes an anger response in me. It'll be absolutely silent in my room and I'm almost asleep, then that fucking beep happens and I'm wide awake again. Turns out, my brother bought an annoying beeper off of Amazon right before I moved in. He superglued it to the back of a drawer in my bed. It has been driving me insane for 8 months. The battery life is 3 years. It's the size of a quarter. I never would have found it if he hadn't come into my room while I was visiting my parents and asked if I had found the beeper he hid in my room. I tore my room apart. I found it, had to rip it off the bed frame, smashed it with a hammer. I was legitimately on the verge of tears. I don't know why. I'm just exhausted and so happy to have that sound gone. Fuck you, little brother. I'm not gonna lie, I have on a few occasions thought about the idea of baking in ringtone sounds or like phone vibrating sounds into the backing of the podcast audio, but you know, I respect you guys too much. I wouldn't do that to you. Our next story is from Throwaway Wife is My HS. Today I fucked up by getting tested to donate a kidney to my wife. I decided to get tested to see if I could donate my kidney to my wife of 6 years. We have 2 kids together, 4 female, 2 male. My wife got sick just after our son was born and now is in need of a kidney transplant. We checked with her relatives and none were a match or a viable donor. Last week, I got tested. I knew it would be a long shot, so I decided to get tested to see if I could donate. I got a call the other day saying that I was a match. The doctor then said something about wanting to do additional testing due to some information from the HLA tissue test results. I didn't think much of it and agreed. Then the results came in. I was shocked and confused. He explained that because of how DNA information is passed down through generations, a parent to a child could have at least 50% match. Siblings could have a 100% match. It was rare to have a high match as husband and wife. I asked what that meant. He said that my wife and I have an abnormally high match percentage. Long story short, we're related. No, I'm not kidding. I was put up for adoption before I was born, placed into a family that moved across the country. I knew I was adopted, but we didn't have any information about my biological family. It was a closed adoption. I met my wife by chance 8 years ago. I was on a trip from work and she was working at the site I went to. We worked together for a week. We exchanged numbers, kept in touch. I was sent back there 3 more times that year, and each time we became closer. I was given the opportunity to be transferred out there into a higher paying position in a different department as hers, and the rest is history. I don't know what to do moving forward, but I know it may be wrong. She's my wife and the mother of our kids. This post will probably get removed, but it's all true. Our next story, which is unrelated to the one before, unlike those two, is from u/Valentinesucks32. Today I fucked up by agreeing to go out on a date with the school douchebag and getting humiliated. I'm a 17-year-old male, and the douchebag, who we'll call Daniel, is also 17. For some history/context, I go to a small school. It's a small school, but we live in a city. My class has around 230 people in it, so everyone knows everyone. As you may well have noticed, we're both males. I'm a gay guy. I haven't had much relationship experience due to being scared of rejection. Everyone in my school knows I'm gay. I get made fun of, but it's something I've gotten used to. There are other gay people in my school, of course, but none of them are my type, and I don't really hang out with them. This boils down to about a week ago. There's this guy, Daniel. He's friends with a group of kids who are arseholes and peaked in middle school freshman year. I know this was a red flag, but up until now, Daniel was kind to me, and I'm not exactly a terrible looking dude. When he asked me out to a dinner, I was shocked, I will admit. Daniel is the school douche. He isn't exactly liked, but his family is prevalent and his mum is close friends with the mayor or something, and people mainly like him because he's rich. Neither of us present as gay. I mean, if you could call it presenting, but it was even more of a shock for me because Daniel didn't give any hints at all, and I thought he was bisexual when he asked me. This boils down to yesterday night, day before Valentine's Day. We'd agreed to a local diner to get some dinner for a small date. When I had arrived at the diner, he said he was going to be a little late. I was fine with that and took a picture of the booth I was in. I waited over 2 hours for Daniel to show, from text to calling his phone. After about 10 minutes after 2 hours, I get a text from Daniel calling me a loser and a picture of me sitting alone in the booth. I then get notifications of his social media accounts and pictures of me sitting alone at the booth, with captions calling me various slurs and a loser in them. To make a long story short, I went home and cried and gathered the courage to post here. Up next from Throwaway 468, today I fucked up by hiring a house cleaner. So my apartment is a train wreck. There's a million reasons why we fall behind in housework, but top 5 are: I'm a full-time nursing student in my last semester, I'm currently working 24 to 36 hours a week, and my significant other is a full-time teacher. We both have ADHD and depression, and no one picks up after themselves. My mum is also a chronically messy person, like myself and my significant other, and we are all trying to do better but struggling. So my mum had someone come in and help her get her apartment cleaned, and then gifted us a visit from a different house cleaner to help us out. The house cleaner, D, she already paid to visit us in the daughter of someone my mum, S, and I know used to work with. So I was a bit reluctant to have someone I know be aware of the state of our apartment, but she was trying to get her cleaning service started and my mum wanted to help her out. I get it scheduled with D, but the night before she's supposed to come, I'd been studying for a big exam, trying to crawl out of my depressive episode and just function. So I hadn't had a chance to actually pre-clean the apartment before she came. I texted her that night asking to reschedule for a time when I had a chance to pre-clean, explaining that I had an exam I'm desperately needing to study for, and I hadn't been able to pre-clean. She adamantly assures me that it's fine, not to worry about it, focus on my exam and let her handle the mess. I reluctantly agree. Wednesday she texts that she's running late and won't be there before I leave for school. We make arrangements for her to let herself in, and I don't hear anything else until the afternoon when I turn my phone back on after my exam. I have a text that just says, "Hey, I'm sorry I'm going to have to reschedule." I say, "Oh, okay, is something wrong?" She says the mess is more than she was expecting, and that she can come back another time after I've had a chance to pre-clean like I said. It wasn't a wasted trip anyway, because she had to deliver something my mum commissioned from her mum. Friday, when I talk to my mum again, I tell her that Dee had rescheduled because the mess was too much. So, we're going to be working on cleaning this week while we're on spring break. My mum texted Dee, to my chagrin, because she was frustrated that she hadn't been notified as the payer that services had not actually been rendered. That's when Dee tells my mum that it was just way too much, that she's only telling her this mother to mother, that if her daughter was living like that we would want to know, and she would be concerned. Then Dee offers to send my mum the video she took of my apartment to show her what she's talking about, and she's again only doing this mother to mother out of concern. My mum and I are both very upset that the video was taken, and even more so that she offered to send it to my mum. My mum told her basically that she's aware of the condition, that we need help, and that's why she hired a house cleaner to help us. Mum is asking for a refund because we both feel betrayed and aren't comfortable with Dee coming back later. And Dee basically said she will have to wait 2 weeks because she used it to pay rent, which, fine, whatever. Well, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that episode. That's going to have to be it, I'm afraid. I have COVID, as you might be able to hear, and I am struggling like crazy. But I promise you, the next episode, hopefully I'll be recovered and it will sound so much better. I'll see you there. Take care, guys. Peace out.